Greetings, citizens of Yodaville. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to City Tales Medieval Era. Episode 5, Offering Advanced Goods and Services. So the whole purpose of the news district is to support some of the industries needed to get a castle. So we ought to start building those industries. So one is the smithy. Oh, the smithy requires a tier 2 trading plaza. So let's get a tier 2 trading plaza to support it. And then once we have the smithy, we can start building up the tools for a stone, cut stone production. It also seems like I am in a negative situation with foliage rope. So another thing that I'm going to add here is a foliage rope, which probably means I'm going to need a new woodcutter soon as well. So foliage rope is going in. And then a smithy is going in. And I won't add any more to this this zone. So the weaving workshop is going to be supported by Dawnbreak.
It will be done.
And the flour has been delivered. So with the flour delivered, I'm going to re-enable the production of bread. And we'll be able to fulfill that. Yeah, there we go. Feast of Kings. Your Highness? Yes, the banquet menu is ready. It took some time, but I'm really happy with it. It's sure to make our culture shine. But first, I wanted to thank you for giving me a chance. I feel more comfortable now that I get to work in the kitchen. Somehow, it really does feel like home. I'm glad to serve under a new liege such as yourself. In any case, it's time for me to get back to work. The orchards are a magnificent time this year. So I thought, why not make good use of our apples? How about some apple pies? They're quite popular at the court in my previous liege, you know. So, pastry workshop. Pastry workshop requires leather ropes and mortar. And then the leather workshop, which is what we need to build a castle as well. A tannery, which is also needed for the leather workshop. And then a clinic needed to support those related industries. Now, it won't be all that frequent that I'll be able to upgrade 3 to 4 for a manor. Whenever the opportunity arises, I'll try to take advantage of it. And here is the smithy. So in charge of the smithy, we'll put... Headers should probably still be working the beams. So I'll put Arthur.
Okay.
Instead of trapping boars. Because we're breaking even on boar meat, but I probably can afford to move him over. So I'm finally in a negative situation with the 2 lumber mills, smithy and bakery for wood. One of the lumber mills, because I have a lot of planks, I have 134 planks, can probably be paused. Buying me a little bit of time before I have to manage that. But even with it paused, the carpentry workshop consumes more planks than I produce. So maybe I need to, for the first time since the very start of this run, build another woodcutter cabin. And I will put it... maybe up here. Up on the hill. And of course, with my luck, all 3 of these townhouses require a school within a region to become a manor. As I was saying before, I'm only really going to consider the inner houses in the center to become manors. I'm not going to worry about trying to make manors everywhere. It's not all that rational of a goal. Anyway. The iron mine is also in a net negative. Let's analyze everything. So flax is in a net negative, as is fibers, but barely. So I'm going to want another flax farm and another iron mine. So a new woodcutter. Okay. Let's move Kellyan over. So this one's automated, and Kellyan will go to the new one. For iron, let's get a new iron mine going. Oh, here's one up there. And then we need flax and wheat. So do a flax farm. Where is there a good amount of farmland? We have a huge sphere of influence, so maybe across the river, I'll put a flax farm. I don't want to put it too close to the river's edge, because the river's edge is where we get clay, sand, and fish. So I don't want to, I don't want to encroach too closely on that. Maybe I'll have an oblong-shaped flax farm up where the iron mine is. And I'm looking for a flax farm of size 4. So this is like twice as big as it needs to be. So we can drag the things in and shrink it to like a 4. Done. And that should fix our flax in the negative. And then if I add a fiber spinner, it will fix the fibers in the negative too, allowing us to support our clothing industry without any supply interruptions. So with this flax farm, we also want the spinning workshop as well. All right, the new iron mine. We'll put...
Okay.
Turtle Sandwich in charge. New flax farm. We'll put Lewin in charge.
Certainly.
And then the spinner workshop's getting built now. So the other thing that we were net negative, iron will recalculate soon, now that Turtle Sandwich is moving to solve that one, was wheat. So let's get another wheat farm going. Maybe up here. I'm going to have a weird wheat, hilltop wheat farm that avoids the berries that are in the middle. So that I could collect those berries if I so wish. That's a 5? I'm going to reduce it down to 4. There we go. And there we go. A hilltop wheat farm. And that will allow our flour to be in the net positive, and our wheat to be in the net positive, because both have been in a bit of free fall. As has apples, actually. That cider press that has been boosted with Joker is taking more apples than we even produce. So I'm going to move Joker from the press to the orchard, so that we have net positive apples rather than net negative apples. All right, spinning workshop. We'll go to... Arthur?
Okay.
now that the weaving workshop, now that the smithy is automated. Because initially you don't need a ton of iron tools. So I don't need him boosting that. And then the wheat farm. Oh boy. Go to Dawnbreak.
It will be done.
And let's get our wheat farm milling. And we'll have to boost the mill. Well, thanks, Mikey, for the message. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Alright, so soon wheat... Oh, yep, there we go. Gain +3. Okay. Looking good. And all of that is to support the population getting manors. So that we have more people and a lot more tax money. Because manors provide tons of taxes. 38 versus 22. Near double. Because we did have a situation not too long ago where we bottomed out on coins, so this helps us stay aloft. So the next industries we're going to have to manage is the leather tanner, the rope leather, the mortar, and the stone cut. And that's what a new districts out this way will do just that. So once all of our raw resource supply has been managed, that comes next. My goodness, I have so much milk. My cattle farm is like twice as big as it needs to be. And I'm just checking. So flax is a net neutral now. Good. And here's the windmill. Perfect. So who wants to mill this?
It will
Sorry,
be
Joker,
done.
I'm moving you yet again. You're the expediter. Alright. At this point, I think all of our most urgently needed resources have been solved. I will need a new apple orchard sooner or later, but I don't need to worry about that immediately. So, let's plan ahead. If we are trying to build a pastry shop, right? Because that's the next goal. Feast for Kings is the pastry shop. We are going to need a production of mortar and leather rope. Mortar is a tier 3 production facility. Mortar shop, which the mortar shop needs cut stone. So we need to do cut stone first, which is the stone workshop, which needs... we're already providing everything it needs. We finally have a smithy to provide the iron tools. So I want to build a new district for a stone workshop. So let's plan out a new district then. So we have religion and trade supplied here, but not water, not entertainment, and not pharmacy. So I'm planning on building in this vicinity for all of the benefits I just mentioned. And in fact, I think what I might end up doing is cutting this into 2 different districts. So this has trade, religion, not well. I'm going to make it as big as possible while retaining trade and religion. There. Size 8. And then this district will have a well in it. That's a big well. All right. And the next district will be adjacent to it. And I'm also going to have it be really large. So what I'm doing here is intentionally having like sprawling boroughs outside of the dense town. And this district is going to be small enough that it will benefit from the trade. There it goes. So now this one is, because the majority of it is within the trade and religion. I can put it here. And I'm not going to do pharmacy here. So if we start to develop these zones will have trade and religion, and then well, which is all the basis that you need for tier 2s. And in here, I'm going to be building, once I have one more board, a stone workshop. But for stone workshops, we need pharmacy, and I'm also going to want entertainment. So the plan is to put a size 4 of pharmacy entertainment, maybe here? So this only needs to be size 4. And I'm going to have it be the smallest size 4 possible. Or rather, a size 4 closest to this area. So it's going to be a really strange shape. So that the center of mass is as far over there as possible. Like that. And then this zone is going to be just for pharmacy and for performance stage. To support the needs of the people that live in these 2 new districts, plus this district. Oh, you know what? Shoot. Shoot. Delete it. I changed my mind. I want my entertainment to also cover this district as well. I forgot about that. So let's plan this again. There we go. So now the entertainment and pharmacy will overlap this district, which lacks it as well. And I'll pull it as far out as possible while also still supporting that district. Doesn't need to be perfectly min-maxed, but something like this will work. There we go. Let's raise the development speed to ×2. And now all of these districts here will have faith, well, trade, entertainment, and pharmacy. Granted, a lot of these are like tier 1s, but I'll upgrade them to tier 2s once I have the resources. So as you can see, the houses back here can now become tier 3 townhouses. So the aim that I have is like everything will eventually be a townhouse, and then some will be manors. And I should save up the boards for the stone workshop before I get overdeveloped. Come on now. Alright, so there's our stone workshop. The other industry that we're going to need is the tannery and mortar shop. So once we have the stone workshop, I'll probably displace one of these houses. So one of these houses I'm going to intentionally not upgrade, so it's cheap to displace, and that will become the mortar shop. And then I'll do another one for the tanner and another one for the leather worker. So I need 4 houses in these 2 new districts that just don't get upgraded because they're going to get destroyed anyway. So here's the stone workshop, and we'll put oh boy, Crimson in charge. And now we really, I mean, it looks far more like a sprawling burrow than it did before, for sure. So once we have 15 cut stone, we'll be able to get the mortar shop in there. And the mortar shop requires a tier 2 well and a tier 2 trade, which is being supplied in this district already. Just waiting on the cut stone. We're almost past the 1,000 milestone for population too. And of course, these industries have nothing to do with the apple pies. They support the apple pies in that the apple pies require leather rope. So it's like, I'm not even, you know, there's so many requirements before I even get there. I suppose I could put the leather workshop in there, though. There's a leather workshop. And 2 more cut stone will have the mortar shop. The cut stone, mind you, and the leather workshop are both the requirements needed for a castle, too. So not only am I fulfilling the need for apple pies, but also indirectly the castle as well. Because the castle requires cut stone, the leather rope, the tiles, and gold. So those 4. So leather workshop, who's in charge? I don't have very many good craftsmen, so Dawnbreak,
Yes?
I guess? And of the mortar shop, we need someone that can do construction. We'll do... shoot. Joker,
Yes?
who just automated the windmill. Good timing. So Leather Workshop isn't really going to do anything. It's not working right now because it doesn't have the tanned hides. So I upgraded this slightly out of order. But all the rest of the houses in this borough can be upgraded now. And I'll put the tanner in this borough. So let's rake in the pop growth and tax money. Oh, right, and that needs sand. I forgot. So let's also get a sand pit, and the sand pit needs to be built along the water. So I'll have like Turtle Sandwich get the sand from the sand pit once that's built. I mean, your name is Turtle Sand after all. You're right. So this whole district is now townhouses, and this one will be townhouses once I build the last facility. And I'm getting warnings that they don't have resources, but it's because I did things slightly out of order. Wow, these can even become manors? As I was saying, I want my manors like concentrated in the middle of town, so we'll do manors over here. All right, Turtle Sandwich.
Certainly.
Gather some sand. So the sand and stone will make mortar, and then the mortar will allow me to build the tanner, the tannery. And then the hides from hunting plus iron tools will make tanned hides, which then can be mixed with the linen rope to make leather rope. My iron tools workshop is in a bit negative, so I might want another iron tools workshop as well. So before I bottom out on that, let's get a smithy in here too, which requires Even more boards. Poor Petersk is like, oh my god, boards, guys, stop ordering more boards. But nope, just more boards. And you can see the money really skyrocketing as I build these manors. If you're ever low on coin, like one manor is the equivalent of like a bunch of shelters. So shelters are easy, but manors are far more region or zoning dense. So once we get 15 mortar, we'll have our tanner. And then, of course, I haven't even worked towards the apple pies yet. So this new district is going to have both the tanner and the pastry shop. So there's not going to be a lot of homes there. But there's room here for homes if we want more pop. Or when we want more pop. I really wanted a manor here because this is a very strange plot size, and it's just adjacent to the city hall. So I think it might end up looking cool. All right, there's the tannery. And then once we have 15 boards, also to make a second smithy. And then once the then I'll also build the pastry shop once we have the leather rope from the tannery and leather shop chain. Who knew apple pies were so damn hard to make, right? And not only that, but I'm not exactly net positive apples, I'm net neutral apples, so if I do make the apple pie workshop, I'm also probably going to need another apple orchard to pair with it. So, tannery time. Let's see. Arthur,
Okay.
I'm going to have you moved over to the tannery. Ooh, that manor really does look nice. I like how it filled in the region with a long manor. That looks great. Oh, I keep using the boards. I should probably get another carpentry, but it's like, the problem is if I get another carpentry, I need more iron tools, and I'm already down iron tools. So I need the boards for the iron tools, and the iron tools for the carpentry, so it's like, oh god, codependence. But I'll just save up the boards for the new smithy. It'd be like that sometimes, right? So what we have left is a smithy, and then once the smithy's done, I'll save up for the pastry shop. So this district is almost going to be entirely industrial and commercial, with only like 2 houses left over. Also the apple orchard, yeah. Lest I forget. Once I have the smithy down, because I'm about to be... well, not about, but sooner or later I'll be out of iron tools. I'll get the apple orchard. So there's the smithy. Alright, back to the apple orchard. The apple orchard caused beams, so I need to build up a supply of beams. Probably 30 of them before I'm able to build that, though. Which is crazy, because I'm already, like, maxed leveled up this carpentry workshop. Petersk is just full diving into that, and still, I can barely keep up with it. Yes, it would make sense to get another carpenter at some point. But I have a high immediate need for it, but perhaps not a long-term need. Okay, who's working this? Where's Crimson working?
Certainly.
Oh, I don't know anymore. He left the stone workshop. You know what? No, I don't want that.
Okay.
Crimson, go back. And... Ooh. Turtle.
Okay.
Now that we have now that you've automated the sand, come over to the second smithy. Cut stone is one of the requirements needed for a castle, which is why I didn't want to pull Crimson off of it, because I'm trying to build up the supply for the cut stone. Okay, after that very complex production chain, we are waiting on the boards for another apple orchard. The other thing is, once I build the pie, I'm also not going to have a lot of bread for that as well. So on top of all of this, I'm probably going to need another bakery. So I'm going to get a second bakery in here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm already producing a lot of flour. So I don't think I'm going to need to spin up my flour production, because I'm only using half of the flour I'm producing. So I'm going to be turning that into bread in the bakery, and then half of the bread for producing manners and half the bread for producing apple pies. Oh, Lewin.
Okay.
You work that bakery. Now, I don't have the planks yet for the apple orchard, but maybe I'll put the apple orchard out here. It looks... It's as close to the old apple orchard as I can put it, and it looks like a good spot out this way. Following this area, avoiding the river, so that I can use the river for like sand or clay if I need it. The smithy is technically net negative, but like not by much. Negative 0.08. 0.08. It's fine. Okay, we have all the cut stone and tiles I need for the castle. Building up the rope supply and coin. And coin is going to be the big one. And coin is just a matter, honestly, of upgrading our townhouses to manors. So coin is one of those things that will happen over time as we, like, raise the quality of life for our upper echelon. But I should hold off on that for now because we need the apple orchard sooner. Because my apple production is even. So analyzing everything. Wood's fine. Fibers are fine. Clothing's fine. Leather is basically even. Clay and stone work is fine. In fact, I could probably pull... Who's in the mortar shop? I could probably pull Joker Hat out of the mortar shop and put her somewhere else. So, given that the tannery is in the net negative, we'll put... Oh, that's Arthur in there. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who's in... I'll put Crimson in there.
Certainly.
And then what I could do is, in the wheat farm, I'll put Joker.
Yes?
So that we're net positive wheat. And then in the unboosted smithy, I'll put Arthur in.
Okay.
And this should even out some of our supply and demand. Of course, now we have a trapper's cabin shortage to be solved. But it's not a big shortage. Let's do that apple orchard finally. And this apple orchard probably does not need a cider press. So I can have it be like size 3. Come on. There we go. As we want the apples for the apple pies, not the cider. Eventually we can add the cider press once the apple pies have been supplied. So let's upgrade this. Actually, I'm not going to upgrade either of them. I'm going to wait until we build the pastry shop. But the pastry shop requires a lot of apples, so this apple orchard is almost just like a temporary apple supply for the pastry shop itself. That's how greedy it is. So who's going in here? Maybe Dawnbreak?
Yes?
And now I just need to save up 20 planks and we'll get the pastry shop for the Feast of Kings. Now, besides that, we do have all the resources we need for castle minus coin. So once I get the Feast for Kings going, I will try to raise coin for the castle. And my primary method, like I said, of doing that is going to be to upgrade townhouses to manors. And upon further consideration, I may want to get a second carpenter for that. So this entire district is just going to be industrial after all. Because waiting for the wooden beams to slowly trickle out is probably not good enough. So I'll get 2 carpenter workshops and move Pettersk from the old one to the new one to boost the new one.
It will be done.
So we're still, even with the second carpentry shop, in the net positive for iron, because we do have 2 iron mines. So that all looks good. So just waiting on the pastry shop to be made. And then it will be manor time. And maybe I'll try to put Dawnbreak in the pastry shop, because she is supposed to be our chef. She wants to work in the kitchen. So, I will wait until she automates the apple orchard, and then put her in there. Or actually, you know what? Joker moved the apple orchard.
Yes?
And then she can go in there now.
It will be done.
Thank you for tuning in to City Tales Medieval Era, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, everybody.